Okay, I've been a huge fan of the AM800's CKLW morning show forever. When I was driving to work, when I was working, that was my go-to place. And I'm really excited today to have Kyle Horner, who snagged the coveted 10 to noon spot. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. This is really cool.
I am so excited that you got that job. I mean, fingers, toes were all crossed.
Yeah, I mean, so was I. It was something I've coveted. Just, being in the footsteps of Lynn Martin, Dan, who I call both of them really good friends. It's pretty special, and it's pretty cool to have this position right now.
Have you always been in radio? Like, was that your love right from the get-go?
Yeah, so I grew up in Sudbury and big sports guy. And Q92 was what Dad would listen to going to school all the time. So Q92, kind of old, well, I guess back in the day it was a rock station. Now it would be an old rock station. But I would fall asleep listening to Leaf games. So I love the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Fan 590 would come in, I don't know, I probably would go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock, and the Fan 590 would come on. And I had a radio beside my bed, and I would listen to the Leafs game falling asleep. And I don't know if that's how I got into radio or that's where I fell in love with radio. But listening to Leaf games, I wanted to be a hockey broadcaster. And it's actually where I got my start doing some of the hockey games for some of the schools in the States. And I thought maybe I could make a career out of that. And then I came to AM800 and I fell in love with this community, and it's what I've always wanted to do since then.
When you were working with Patty Handyside, you produced her show. Do you still do that, or are you just right on
Just
the
on
show?
air now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So Friday was my last show with Patty, and when she ended at 6 o'clock for the CTV News, she came to me, and we both kind of said our goodbyes, and I learned a lot from Patty. I love Patty, and I'm very grateful to be able to do her show for 5 years. But with that said, when I pressed that last button, I mean, I've been a producer there for 16 years.
Oh my gosh.
It's what I've done. It's how I got my start there. Whether it was AM800, 89X, I'd been behind the board. And so when I pressed that button, that was my last time of producing. And I don't know. I mean, I'm an emotional guy. And deep down, it was pretty hard to believe that if everything goes well with this show and I'm able to keep this show, I might not press another button on that board. And it's been my home for 16 years.
Did you take schooling for that?
Yeah. So I did journalism at St. Clair. Shout out to Veronique. I think actually all of us. I think Lynn, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Lynn went to St. Clair. Dan, obviously, St. Clair. And I was a St. Clair student. And I just wanted to pursue radio a little bit more. And so I went to Specs Howard in the States. I think it's now Lawrence Tech in the States. But I went to Specs Howard, and you could do television or you could do radio. And radio's always been my passion, like I said, from the Fan 590 days. And so I went into radio. And I mean, it was a lot of fun. I was a bit, inventive. Some of, you'd have to do commercials and shows and stuff like that. And I think mine stuck out a little bit just because I like to be different, and I tried different things. It's kind of what I've done on Saturday mornings. Some things have worked, some things that didn't work. And then randomly it was MySpace, if you remember MySpace.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, and Corey Haygood, his name is. He went to Oakland University, so just north of Detroit. If you remember where the Pistons played, kind of right around there. And they got a really good basketball program. They got a really good hockey program up there. I don't know where he found me or what, but he asked if I'd be interested in doing color commentary for hockey. I was like,
yes, please.
Yeah. So I went up there and did that with him at Oakland University, got to travel around the States. They have a really good radio program out there, so I did a little sports radio there. And from there, Eastern Michigan reached out to me. And they wanted to do an interview at the old Mexican Town restaurant for everybody that loves Mexican Town. And I was like, well, either way, even if this doesn't work out, I'm getting a free meal in Mexican Town. Let's do it. Eastern Michigan really liked what I said in the interview. And then I was able to do Eastern Michigan. And so it's cool to kind of have that hockey aspect.
Yeah.
And then AM800 came around, and I joined the A-team and fell in love with AM800. It was really cool. Dave and Chuck, 89X, wanted me to be the phone screener there. And some crazy stories that I probably can't even talk about there. And yeah, I just fell in love, and it worked out so far really good for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, you've really been all over the board.
Yeah, I've gained a lot of experience and very grateful for a lot of the opportunities, really cool opportunities. You know, to be able to travel the States with hockey teams, AM800's been awesome. Dave and Chuck, probably still my favorite thing, probably my favorite moments in radio. Definitely probably the most fun I've had in radio.
I miss
Dave and Chuck. Well, they're just across the river.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I still try to listen when I can or pick up the podcast because first of all, they're two great guys.
Okay, I gotta check out the podcast because I completely forgot they had one, and they're hilarious.
But like for a couple guys that have been very successful, they're great guys. Great guy. Even Dave, you know, I don't know if he wants me to say this in public, but even Dave sent me a congratulations last week when it was announced publicly. Like, how cool is that, right? So
that is cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you still do Saturday morning?
Saturday mornings for live and local are done. I do experts on call though.
Okay.
So I don't want to lose that relationship with clients. And I mean, some of those clients have been family. Mm-hmm. They've done a lot for me. I hope I've done a little bit for them. So I still do experts on call Saturday mornings. So I'm usually there a lot later. I try to be there. First experts is usually at 9. So I'll try to be there for 8:30.
So who's taking the earlier slot?
Kristen Siapis right now. Yeah,
Nice.
She's making it her own. She's doing a great job. I love her.
She is. She was on Saturday morning, was she not? Or was
So
it
she would
you?
fill in. Yeah, she would fill in when I took some vacation time. She would fill in for other shows as well. I love her.
Yeah, she's got a great voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Very intelligent. She knows this community. She's making that show her own and bring it on. I'm cool with that. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, I think she's gonna fit right in there.
Yeah, just a great person.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, are you getting used to having your name on a show?
Nope, not at all. No, I said on the first day when we were doing the, kind of that talk back with Mike and Meg, kind of embarrassed to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. I'm very grateful again for this position. Really cool. Really, I'm just grateful to have this chance to talk with the community and about what's important in our lives in this city. But having a show, the Kyle Horner show, I don't know. It's embarrassing.
No, it's not.
It is. I mean, I don't know. I'm just a guy that talks on the radio. I'm very privileged, and I know that means a lot to a lot of people, and it means a lot to me. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know.
There really honestly couldn't have been anybody other than you to take Dan's spot, because I find that knowing both of you guys, you are very similar in your ideas, your thoughts, your sense of humor, and it made it for a very seamless transition. And I know quite a few people that were like, oh, I'm Team Brian. I'm like, trust me, listen. And then, I mean, I like Brian.
I'm different.
I thought he was great, but then all of a sudden by the end, they're like, oh, it's got to be Kyle. Oh.
Well, I get it. To me, it's not a competition. I don't even know what to say to that. I would just say that I'm different.
But that's great. That's the good thing about that. And
I'm not going to change. I mean, this is me. Again, if you don't like to listen to me, there's a lot of other options on the dial. With that said, I mean, I've had some success in this market. Saturday mornings have gone very well. Mm-hmm. I'm just honored. I'm very lucky. And I don't know. There's a chance it doesn't work. So those people that want somebody else, there's a chance they can get somebody else.
Everybody was so happy.
There's been a lot of love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's especially in a world where there's tons of negativity. And I was prepared. Go on social media. Get ready, Kyle. No. And honestly, it's been a ton of love, and it means a lot to me. This community means a lot to me.
Now, when it comes to this, they've shortened it to 10 to 12.
Yep.
And is the format going to change at all, or are we still going to see a little bit of the same thing but just shorter?
Yeah, I would say, well, I mean, again, you're talking about making it my own. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still want my personality in it, but we are going to talk about news and news that affects us locally. There's going to be stories about me and my life and waking up my wife every morning with an alarm clock and trying to figure out a different alarm clock and what to do. Yeah, I mean, there's still going to be a lot of my life. Again, that's
good.
That's what it worked. It worked on Saturday. When we talked about what's going on in my life, a lot of people, a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of us are going through the same things.
And that's what's fun about it.
That's it. We can talk about news. We can talk about real subjects, but also there's a lot going on in our lives, and we should talk about that as well.
It's true. I like how you really include the Breakfast Club, the YouTube chatters,
Absolutely.
and you really look into them as well as the texters. And that's really important because a lot of times I know they do feel like they're not being heard or seen, and you really include them a lot.
First of all, I wouldn't be here without all of you. I mean, I've mentioned it on the opening show. I felt like their hands were tied. I would like to say management was leading my way, but I mean, the love everyone is showing me, especially the OGs like you guys, that means a lot. And I've heard from a lot of you and a lot of people that have listened to AM800 and listened to that show for a very long time. And to hear that they're liking what I'm doing and how I've kind of taken over, that means a lot to me because...
Yeah.
You know, they've listened for that long. And so if they're enjoying what they're hearing so far, then I'm doing something right.
We all want to hear news, and you want to hear what's going on locally around here and around Canada. But it's a lot of fun to hear people talking about the same thing, like, okay, my car is dead.
Life. Yeah, I mean, if you look at my Facebook right now, you will see a whole bunch of interaction because my car wouldn't start after the show today. Thank God for engineer Darren. Shout out to Darren, even though he's a Packer fan. He said he would change my battery tomorrow in the parking lot if I went to get a new battery. Like, again, it just shows, first of all, the how cool some of the coworkers are, or how cool the coworkers are at the radio station, and we really are a family. And I mean, it was funny. I don't know. I think it was listener Justin. Sorry to call Justin out, but the same thing happened to him today. His battery wouldn't start, right? So then we're talking about battery issues, and he went to, I don't know,
Part Source.
Yeah, he went to Part Source, and they did a free battery check for him, and he was able to get that checked out, right? Like,
yeah,
it was a snowy day today, and a lot of us are dealing with battery issues.
It's probably either the starter or the.
So shout out to OK Tire on Walker. I took it there a little while ago, and they said it wasn't. So maybe it's the battery again.
That would be nice.
It'd be a lot cheaper, I'll tell you that. It'd be a lot cheaper. Yeah.
Now, see, this is fun. This is what we need.
Yeah, I mean, it's just me. Again, not everybody's going to enjoy me. Not everybody's going to like me. Yeah. But I said, too, even if you don't enjoy me or you don't like my style, I'm still going to ask the questions that you want answered when it comes to important subjects, important topics with important newsmakers in this city. I'm still going to do it. So if you want those answers, listen.
For sure.
If you don't like my personality, fine, but at least I'm going to try to get you the answers you want.
How much say do you have? Like, I'm not sure when it comes to these type of shows, like if it's everything that you plan or if it's a collaboration with you and Will and the bosses.
Yeah, topic-wise, it's me and Will. Yeah, so again, it's only 2 hours, like you said. It's quick. And even I'm still adapting to that, making sure I let the subjects breathe. But then when it's done, when the listeners have had enough, we move on. And so, that's been tricky, and I'm adapting to it. I think it's gone well so far. Some people might disagree, but I feel like it's gone well so far. But we probably we do spend 3 hours nailing down which subjects we're actually going to talk about because we only have 2 hours. And eventually we're going to go online. We're going to have an online segment, something like this.
Okay.
And so we will be adding to the show as we move on. But right now we got 2 hours. And so I really enjoy it because there's so much communication between the both of us. And he has experience. Like I have experience on Saturday morning, a little bit different, a little bit lighter. Even the shift when I was filling in for Patty, more newsy, I guess, right? And so I will ask, like today I asked, would Dan do this? Would Dan do this topic to end the show? And I want his feedback. Because again, I don't want to emulate Dan, but Dan worked. Like he did very well with that show. And yeah, I'm trying to learn from that. And so whatever Will says, whatever input Will has, I want that. Like I want to have that communication with him. And so far it's worked for 3 shows.
Oh my goodness, it has. And I mean, like Dan did the exact same thing when he took over for Lynn. And you want to make it your own, but you still want to have the same style because that's what's working. And you were lucky enough that you had weeks of practice when you were filling in, so.
Lots of good feedback on that. If it was a lot of bad feedback on that, I might have switched it up a little bit. But on that first show, I said, if you've heard me fill in, well, you like it or not, depending on who you are. That's what I'd like to bring to this show. And I feel like we've done a pretty good job with the 2 hours that we have.
It is hard, like you said, to get 3 hours worth of stuff into 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes 3 hours might just be a little bit too long on one of those slow days. And oh my God, I couldn't imagine having to try and fill that gap.
Well, we got the holidays coming up, so we'll see. I've been trying to save some of the stuff for the holidays. Still have some fun, but it's a holiday topic, right? It's not heartbreaking news. But it's just really good communication with Will. And I felt like sometimes with the 3 hours filling in, so, I'm still working things out. I felt like sometimes I'd be on a subject for too long. And I would go home and I was like, Kyle, you should have cut that short. Or I don't know why you carried it for another 10 minutes. You didn't have to. I can't do that nowadays. 2 hours, I'm out. And I will make sure that I talk to Will. Like in the commercial break too, I'm like, hey, Will, I think that's enough. What do you think? I want his feedback. Mm-hmm. And it's gone well, yeah.
I like the few times that I was in the studio on the round table, but just listening to him and even watching him if I get there a little early. And he's so smart. I would love to just be able to shadow him for a while because the stuff that he comes up with and he does, it's amazing.
He's the first friend I had in the building. How cool is that, right? Like 16 years ago when I started overnights, he was one of the main ops. And so we became friends very quickly. But to take you inside one of the interviews that I had, it was the first question that was brought up, what do you think of Will? And I said to them right off the bat, I trust him with my life. That's the guy I want to do the show with. That's
great to have somebody that you have that much of a connection with.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more confident with Will because I have somebody with that experience. I feel great with Will, like he's family to me.
And he understands you.
That's it too, right? Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm in my element when I see Will through the glass, yeah.
Personal question. Have you guys sorted out the issue between Christmas ornaments?
My wife and I, it's sorted out because she decorated the whole tree, basically. I just sat on the couch and pet the dog and, Frosty was on and then we made it to Home Alone 2 and I was just enjoying that. Yeah, I mean, we settled it because she did the tree.
Her do it.
That's it, yeah. I know my role. I know my place.
I do the same thing with John. He's the one that does the tree. It's a chore.
Well, we have so many nice ornaments, like from trips that we took, the night she said yes, like just married. Like we have some really cool ornaments that I like to, stick kind of in the front of the tree. Some of them are breakable, so she wanted them higher and I don't know. There's a lot of ornaments on the tree, so there wasn't like an order or anything like that, but the tree looks beautiful. That's all that matters.
You need a second tree, a Kyle tree.
Yeah, we used to have a sports tree and it kind of fell over and it's missing a stand and stuff like that. So maybe one Christmas we'll bring it back.
On AM800, you guys do Spitfire games, and do you do any other sports?
Or? No, I don't think so.
No,
that's it. We used to back in the day. I think they used to do Michigan games. I know for sure I babysat Michigan games on 580. Saturday afternoons, I would babysit the board and just making sure it'd go in and out of commercials for Michigan games. I think nowadays it's just Spitfire games. Shout out to Dominic Papa, though. When I was doing Sundays, I would do Sunday Morning Live with Arms, and then it would go into him, Local Line on Sports at 11. We did that for years. And it would just be coaches, interviews with players, like just bang, 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 bang. Like once he's on the phone or once he's, I guess, on the radio with the live coach, I'd be getting the other coach. And then we just go coach to coach, sport, fast-moving show. If you want to learn how to work the board and the phone lines at AM800, that's the show you do. Because it is fast-moving and you better know what the heck you're doing.
Do you miss doing that?
Absolutely, yeah.
You think you could get in there every once in a while to fill in?
To do the board?
Or,
I mean, I guess if they need me, as long as I still get my... listen, I'm going to be real here with you. As long as I still get my host pay, yeah. Because there's a little bit of a difference. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of that. You have so many different talents. I mean, like, I've never...
Well, only for radio. Yeah, don't ask me to build you a house or fix anything or figure out what to do with my car. I have no talents when it comes to that.
No, but when
Radio, I
it comes
can
to
kind
radio,
of, when it comes to AM800 station, because even the other stations, so Virgin and 89X, they have brand new boards. And like the technology and stuff like that, like, but I've never been trained on those. I'm sure I could pick it up pretty quickly, but I've never been trained on those. So if you put me in 89X right now, I don't know what that board does or how to work that beautiful board that they have. You put me on AM800 with the old board here and the wide orbit that we have. Yeah, I can figure it out.
I couldn't even imagine doing 89X, hearing from Dan, like he answers the phone, he plays the music, he does the boards, like, oh yeah, forget that.
Well, I'm sure it's a lot easier than when I was doing it back in the day because their new board is absolutely gorgeous. And so I'm sure if I just had somebody like, hey, this does this, this does this, I'd be like, oh, I could pick it up. It's probably a lot easier than what it was when I was doing it. With that said, give me the old school boards because I know what to do with those.
I know we've talked, but how was it that first show when you had Lynn and Dan on?
Yeah, I tried soaking it all in. I don't know where my career is going to go. I don't know what's going to happen with the show. We're off to a good start. Either way, I'm always going to have that moment. Just reaching out to Lynn, being face-to-face with Dan, asking him to come in. And like I know Dan pretty well. I think it did mean a lot to him. When he says it, when Dan talks, when Dan says something, it's real. He really means it. I think it meant a lot to him to come on that show. It meant a lot to Lynn. It meant a lot to me. And I think it meant a lot to you.
It did.
To the listeners, like they just loved it. Like we were flooded. YouTube was way more than I get. Yeah, it was really cool.
It was so much fun, like watching that, because I mean, I listened to Lynn, and I only ever got to meet her once when they were doing those giveaways where they'd show up at stores.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I was the dumb one at a Clinique counter at the Bay, and she's like, whatever you want, and I didn't want to ask for too much, so I just, like maybe 100 or two. Yeah. And then the next day, the guy at Home Depot got a stove, and I'm like,
you should have just loaded up.
I know.
Yeah, wherever we are, just load up on stuff, man. It's not my stuff.
I've never seen anybody again, but it's like, son of a gun. But
like when I have the Tim Hortons gift cards, just take them. Yeah, because they're not mine. They're all for you.
Yeah,
that's it, right? They're special people. And I mentioned, when I produced for Lynn the first time, Lynn demanded a lot, and I really appreciate that. Like, she wants your best if you're doing her show. And I said to myself, Kyle, like, you better bring it today. If you want to prove yourself or if you want to move up at this radio station, this is one opportunity that you have to prove yourself. And I felt like she was pretty happy. So to have them on together, and I felt like I was just in the background, which was really cool. They were kind of asking questions back and forth to themselves, and I was just kind of enjoying it, just like the listeners. And I have no problem with that. It was pretty awesome. And I mean, the feedback that we got was overwhelming. So if they want to come on every Monday, feel free.
I think that would be a
That'd
great
be really cool.
roundtable.
I'll talk to Lynn. I'll bring a bottle of wine over to Lynn. We're going to get together during the holidays. And, after a couple glasses of wine, I'll see what I can talk her into. It sounds like she's enjoying retirement, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, traveling the world sounds pretty rough. I don't know how she's doing it. Yeah.
Come on, she's got to be tired of it by now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, going to Italy, Spain, Mediterranean, that's got to get old real quick.
Being that, again, I'm going to harp on this, being only a 2-hour, is there anything specific that you are going to do different from the others to make this specifically the Kyle Horner show?
So it's just going to be a lot of talking subjects. Like, I really want to make the listeners the show. You mentioned it, right? Whether it's YouTube, texting lines, like I'm always trying to interact with everybody. I would especially want the phone calls. To me, the phone calls is where we can really talk, really interact. When I see a text or I read a text or I read a YouTube comment, I can riff off that a little bit, but there's still really no talk between the two of us. Call my show, 519-792-2559. Let's have a conversation, because Dan did a great job of it, but also he had more time, and so he had more people in studio, talk more about, what's ever happening in the community. I still want to do that, but when it's important subjects, and we're going to try to make sure a lot of the show is important subjects to this community, let's talk about it together.
Except for you, Jasmine, you cannot be Kyle's pain.
No, he can only help me with insurance. Thank you, Jasmine. Doing a great job of making sure I save money with insurance.
Yes,
so,
he's my insurance
the guy's
guy
a
too.
wonder. Yeah, there you go, right?
Yep.
The guy's a wonder when he comes out. I think he did dance too. Yeah. So I've worked my way into that, and he's already saving me money, or he's going to be saving me money as I renew. So yeah, there's a little shout out to Jasmine. I appreciate it.
I heard him on yesterday. I'm like, don't be the pain.
Yeah.
Don't be the pain.
No, I'm the pain because I've already bugged him all day today about my insurance policy. Yeah. Yeah, he actually found something that I didn't know I wasn't covered for, which really could have cost me. So, yeah, the guy's amazing. Appreciate it.
And see, that's the joy of AM800 radio, or AM radio in general.
Yeah.
And the talk radio, which I'm hoping, it still seems like it's really strong in the Windsor-Essex County
we do
area.
Very well. Yeah, I don't want to jinx anything or anything like that, but we're very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to be in this position. Radio is very special, and that's why I love radio, is because I have that communication. You know, TV doesn't have that communication. Our platform, AM800, we're able to have the community right there at our hands, which is good and bad in some situations. We're very fortunate. AM800 does very well, and that's why we're still here. We're in a lot of markets throughout Ontario, throughout Canada, other than maybe if you're a big city, you don't have this opportunity. Like London, much bigger than us, they don't have this opportunity to have a radio station like this where we communicate. It's because of the listeners. The only reason why we're around still is because we make money, because the ratings are well, because of them listening to us. That is the only reason. It is literally why we're around, is because of you. And that's why I want to make sure you're part of my show. Oh. I wouldn't be here if Saturday morning wasn't successful. You know why Saturday morning was successful? Because of all of you. That's why.
I listen to you guys if I'm walking my dog, if I'm driving somewhere. I'm usually hitting AM800, but I also listen to, watch it on YouTube in the morning, because I'm not listening to the radio. I like to see everything and you know, get involved with it. But when we go away, I usually put it on iHeartRadio, because you don't have those options to listen to you guys, because there's nothing. It's just music.
It's sad. You know, it's sad, and trust me, I don't take it for granted. We are very blessed. I'm very blessed to have a radio station like this that is flourishing, that is doing very well, and I don't take it for granted, because I know it can disappear like that. And so that's why when I get on that mic, I'm trying to do the best I can, because you guys have made us successful. I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy with what you're listening to. And, you know, obviously we want you to be part of our lives, because without you, we're nothing.
I want to thank you so much for being here. And
of course. Thank you for having me. This is really cool. I appreciate it. Nobody's asked me to do a podcast or anything like that. No, nobody. I'm just a Saturday morning guy. Nobody cares.
Hey, that's not true. Now, are you going to have Jen on?
Jen is going to be a big part of my show.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, she's one of the highlights. Absolutely. Jen Brigno Strong, Tailgate Takeout. She's one of the highlights on Saturdays. Yeah. When I've brought her in, as I filled in for that show or for Patty's show, I mean, the texting lines just flood in, right? Whatever the subject is, based on food, and everybody loves food. You know, I'm like one of the biggest foodies around. It takes off, right? And she will be, I'm sure she'll be joining my show next week as we approach the holidays and some holiday menu items, like the Buskers poutine, Thanksgiving poutine, Christmas poutine. Yeah.
Yes.
Can't wait, bring it on.
Yeah, I was hoping to have her on today. She was actually going to pop in, but unfortunately her son's sick. Liam, I hope you're feeling better by the time this comes out.
Those parents. She's always sick. The kids are always sick.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad my kid's older. And
that's it. Yeah, I'm just a stepdad. Yeah, keep trying, but nothing yet. So hey, maybe one day. But as of now, pretty healthy.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Yeah,
that's good.
You can't get sick without kids. Yeah.
Well, thank you again, and I will for sure have you on, and we will prove to everybody that you have staying power. You're going to be there forever. That's just all there is to it.
Fingers crossed. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Please keep listening. I need a new car. My car doesn't start.
Okay, and if you want to follow Kyle on social media, it's Kyle Horner. But if they want to text in, the texting line is different now,
same number.
Is it not?
Yeah, so it's the same number as the call-in number, 519-792-2559. Yeah, okay. Please, write it down.
Yes.
Be a part of the show. I want to talk to you.
And definitely catch them on YouTube. Any of the shows on AM800 are on YouTube as a podcast. And if you've missed it, you can catch them.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. This was a special night. I'm very excited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, my name is Tracy Martins. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of YQG in Bloom. You guys all have a great day.